Hi everyone, my name is Madeline. I am with an organization called Loudlight. We are a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization with the goal to increase youth civic participation in Kansas. You might have already seen a presentation from me or my K-State counterpart Emily Featherston because we are trying to hit all of the big places, big classrooms, big clubs, things like that. So if you've already heard this presentation, you're going to hear it again and you get to see my lovely face. So I am a junior studying political science, pre-law philosophy, and I'll have a minor for communication studies. I've been registering people to vote for about 3 years. This year is just the first official time I have done it with an organization. Usually I will have you raise your hands and I'll ask questions about how many of you are registered to vote. I can't do that here. That would be a miracle if I could. So I'm just going to go through why I think voting matters. Voting matters if you care about gun rights, voting rights, abortion, immigration, taxes, anti-discrimination laws, healthcare, childcare, financial assistance, affordable housing, climate change, foreign aid, post-secondary education, K through 12 education, marijuana decriminalization, alcohol laws, security, and LGBTQ rights. It basically covers everything. Locally, voting matters because there's some works for fixing the draining system, something that we need, especially with the flooding that we just had. Aggieville expansion is in the works. It affects your sales tax and it affects the affordable housing that you can get once you move out of the dorms. Statewide, it will help with your taxes, your secondary education funding, so that is your tuition rate, and health care. Nationally, immigration, student loan interest rates, and climate change, just a couple of things that at every single level really matters for your vote. So we are the largest voting age group and the least likely to vote. So in the last midterms, only 14.4% of Kansans age 18 to 24 voted. The legislators don't make laws for people who don't vote. And if you don't vote, you don't matter. And that's a harsh truth, but it's something we have to admit, and we have to get out there and vote so we can change the legislators' minds. So if you're out of state, you can absolutely register to vote in Manhattan, Kansas. You can do this using your local Manhattan address. So your dorm address is something that you can use, or if you live in an apartment or a house, obviously you can use that. When you go in to vote, you can take your K-State ID. You don't have to take your driver's license. Okay, so if you want to register locally, especially if you're an out-of-state student planning to do that, I would say come election time, it is so much easier. You can vote early, you can vote on election day, you don't have to deal with an advanced ballot, and you're here 9 months out of the year now. So this is your new home for a little while. You should have a say in what goes on here. Okay, so this is the part where we're going to register to vote together. So if you want to go to ksvotes.org/RL_KSU_MA. It'll take you to a website that looks kind of like this. Alright, so go ahead and start by putting in your first name, your last name, your date of birth, the zip code, and an email address. Go ahead and put in your phone number as well, and if you know that you aren't registered to vote, you can hit skip the check. I know what I need to do, but if you do need to check, go ahead and just hit check my registration. So my information does come up, however, I'm going to go ahead and click register to vote so we can do this together. However, if you need to apply for an advanced ballot, you can absolutely do this at the website. So we'll do register to vote. Make sure that you check yes, you are a citizen, and yes, you are 18 years old. Obviously, only if you are actually 18 and a United States citizen. It is a felony if you do this under false pretense. Next, we will go ahead and put in our middle name, suffix. If you have junior, senior, second, third, or fourth, you can put that in. I am none of those. My name's not that cool. I usually put in MS period for the Ms. for the prefix at the very beginning of the page. I don't actually know the difference between putting MISS or MS period, so I just put one of them. We'll go ahead and hit next. So for my home address, please don't steal my information. We'll do this. Apartment, lot, you can use your dorm number there. So if you are using a dorm address, don't put the dorm name anywhere in the address. Just use the address of the dorm and then your dorm room number. Just the number. Apartment 6. Manhattan, Kansas. So if you are in a dorm, all of the zip codes are 66506. Off campus, most of them are 66502, but some are 66503. If you live off campus, you should probably already know what your zip code is, though. You do not have to put if you were registered at a different address. That is just for the convenience of your county clerks. So for the purposes of quickness, we're going to hit next. So the only registered parties in Kansas, the only recognized parties in Kansas, Democrat, Republican, unaffiliated, and Libertarian. If you pick unaffiliated, the only time that will matter is when you go to primaries, which have already passed. You will have to declare a Democrat or a Republican selection because you can only vote in those primaries. So we'll do unaffiliated next. So for the ID number, the identification number, you can put your driver's license number or you can do the last 4 digits of your social security number. It doesn't matter which one, but you have to have one of them. So like I said, the last 4 digits of your social security number or your driver's license number. So we'll do this, hit done, and I'll hit next. So it's going to bring up a form. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just sign in the box at the bottom, and if you are planning to vote absentee ballot, make sure it looks as close as your actual signature as it can possibly be. I know that sometimes it's hard, but if you're doing it on your phone, it can be a lot easier than on a laptop because they do compare those signatures. So we'll do sign. Okay, so you're just going to check over that one more time. For this purpose, I'm going to hit change county because mine is an example, so I am test, apply change. After that, all you have to do is hit that you agree that you did not lie on the form because it is perjury and a felony. And then you will hit submit. And then you have submitted your application to register to vote. After that, you can apply for an advanced ballot, but other than that, you're pretty much ready to go. You will get information in about 2 weeks with your polling location, what your party was that you selected. If you lose that little card that's going to come in the mail, you can look up all your information at ksvotes.org, the same place that we looked up today. Other than that, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask Andrew. But other than that, thank you for registering to vote. General election is November 6th, and early voting starts October 17th. Thank you, guys.